gross.
All right, welcome to GDP Live. I am your host, Pat George. We go live. Well, sometimes it's a we, sometimes it's me and Dom. Most of the times it's me and Chloe. But we go live here from the Dobby Robertson Memorial Caddick every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. You can pound off live on Instagram at Baby Mermaid Productions on Instagram. Just follow that page, and you can pound off. You can just type your little comments there in the thread, or you can ask to join. And essentially, it's like calling into a show because I erased that video afterwards, and the audio remains on Facebook and YouTube for all eternity, or until eventually I get kicked off both of those platforms. But I'm your host. I'm host, Pat George. Hold on, we got some early pounding right here. Yo. Did you see the ludicrous display last night? Yeah, that was nuts. It was weird to see, like, Kansas City. I know we're going to get into it a little bit more, but Kansas City is a team that I've always understood to be pretty awesome, like at least as of late over the past couple of years. But I don't know what the hell. John's here. What up, bub? How's it going? But yeah, every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday from Instagram as well as Facebook. We go live from the Gross Domesticated podcast page on Facebook. So just like that page, and you can pound off on in the comments there as well, or you can watch along, or afterwards on YouTube, YouTube and Facebook. There, both of those platforms there at Baby Mermaid Productions. Also, you can check out Falls Count Anywhere, everywhere. Anywhere. God damn it. Falls Count Anywhere this is the mind of this is a Monday morning brain that has been dealing with fucking computer issues. I am not in a good mood, to be completely transparent. I didn't completely want to do the show. Like, I want to talk to you guys. Like, the reason I'm here is because of the people that join in every day, and or that the downloads. Like, I see the fact that people are responding to the show, and I understand that whatever audience I may have, and that's why I thought it was even more compelling, the fact that I would go live, because I was fucking literally screaming at every goddamn computer I own for the I cannot imagine what my neighbors think. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine, like, I'm not even in the mindset to be like, hey guys, you should check out my content. I can't even fucking produce my fucking content right now because these goddamn machines. I do, you know what I mean? Like, you get a routine, I'm trying to get, like, somewhat of like my unique editing, like, process. Like, I would like to not have it look like just everything else that's on YouTube. I want it to look pretty good. I want it to look appealing. I want the content to be interesting. But, like, if even the stuff, like, you focus on, like, okay, focus on the content. I'm trying to capture the fucking content. And apparently, unless a file is corrupt, I don't know what the fuck. And the fact that you get an error message and you go, oh, cool. So what does this mean? You click the what the fuck does this mean message, and it says, oh, that's error code 462 or 4989, and it's like, so that's not an explanation, and that's not offering me any way to fix it. And to be honest with you, it's not really my problem. I did everything on my end the same. Everything was normal. Okay, robot? I understand. Again, I cannot stress this enough. I am a person who is convinced that they're definitely going to take over. The robots, the computers, everything, you know what I mean? Like, all that shit, the iRobot shit, that's totally going to happen. But, like, god damn it, if you could just I bought you because you said I'm addressing you, the peeps, as well as you directly, computer. Please, god damn it, I bought you because you said you could do this shit. It's a weird thing. Like, I think it's just one of those fluke things that where, like, the file is corrupted or something like that. But, like, god damn it, like, if the computer could just tell me, hey man, there's nothing we can do, I just that's the one human element that I really wish that they could predict. You know how like they do like suggestive selling. There's a lot of times your computer's listening to you, it's watching like, oh look, Pat likes tie dye hairband headbands. So because he's that's the picture of him that we see, and Hawaiian shirts. I'm trying to be light. Look, Pat's in a great mood. Hey, I'm having a great time. Oh yeah, I did actually know that. We got some pounding off in the comment. John says Ludacris was there. And Pat, fun fact, did you know that Norma Jean's original band name was Luti Chris? And actually I did know that. It was a weird, and it was very like, it almost like it was like I pushed it out of my mind, the fact that I did know that, because like I was just like I don't even know what that means. Yeah, breakdown Pat. Yeah, it's like it's just one of those things like I hate that helpless feeling. And to be completely transparent, I don't oftentimes have that, like yes, I do live very much a privileged life in that sense that I don't feel helpless a lot of times, but like in even the slightest scenario where it's like, man, what the fuck, it's just a what the fuck, like and it's not even my show, it's false count anywhere, and I work for those guys. I want the show to be great. I think I salvaged the audio, so the episode's not completely fucked, but it's also like, god damn it, man, like those guys, they expect a certain, I feel like I expect a certain output in myself, and a certain quality of shit. I guess if I'm putting it quality of shit, I don't know what I really expect, but like it's a thing. Like I I just because I'm offering, or I'm offering my services, or I'm doing these things for my buddies or something like that, doesn't mean that I don't want it to be good. Like just because I'm not necessarily uh I want it, I want the tide to be equal. I want the rising tide to raise all ships, like I've said many times before. It's something that like I want it all to be good. Like I don't want to, and then for me to consistently put out like content or something like that, like I said, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, uh, and not be able to offer them that same consistency to say like, oh, every Monday you could check them out. Yeah, you can. It'll be out later on, but like, god damn it, man, I'm fired up. Update the computer. You fucking check for updates for the thing. You do this. You problem solve everything, and it's just like, no, just can't do it. It's just when the answer from a computer isn't like you're supposed to give me a definitive thing of like, if there's nothing that we can do here, I just need to know that. Can you just scan a boop or a beep and just do something with it? Like just go like, hey, boop, can't do it. Beep. Like, Pat, all hope is lost. You're done. Tell me to calm down. This is how I vent. I need to vent. It's either me screaming this into my cattic abyss and probably concerning the neighbors, or just do it for content. Now it's comedy. We're having a good time. All right. Hey guys. Happy Monday. No, that's the thing. But the audio, it's so weird. It's like it's something about, I honestly, I to even give it privilege, Pat. Hell yeah. My brain is full of facts that everyone else had squeezed out of their mouth. Okay, so that makes sense. John's brain is collecting all the facts that our brain sponges are squeezing out of it. All the knowledge that we mush out of our brains is all getting collected by John's brain. Pro tip regarding computer errors: us professional tech nerds are just Google search experts. My my next step would be to take the error. Yeah, literally, that's what I did. Guarantee one of the top results is a Stack Overflow thread with the same problem and solution. Yeah, it's essentially, it's kind of like it's like it's a reoccurring thing. So like Cody was sharing in the thread here in at Baby Mermaid Productions on Instagram. Pounding off hard. I like it. I really like this because that's it. Like this makes me feel like this justifies my feeling of like sometimes, and honestly, if I was dealing with a tech nerd expert or something like that, I think eventually like I would get that like of that. Hey man, there like you can give up because like with computers you feel like there's always going to be an answer. So like when like the computer's like, I don't know, the file's messed up or something. There's like a couple problems that are coming up. And here's some numbers. And I'm like, okay. So I go like, so and then like there's no other thing to click. Like once the clicks are gone, you're like, okay, so there's no more like question bar. Like, what does this mean? So what can I do? Like how can I be better here, computer? Help me help you, please. Like just tell me and that human element is why like that's why the tech nerd experts are important because you can do all the googling that maybe I may not have thought. You can do all the problem solving that I may have not you know what I mean? Like I've already done that. I googled it, I couldn't find it, and finally like even to say like, hey, do you want to report an issue to about it to Apple or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I do. And my thing is like, hey, why the like usually my first Google search is why the fuck can I fucking do this? Why isn't it fucking rendering my fucking video? Trying different processes, different and like and then it's at the end of the day realizing I spent how much time I spent on it and then going like fuck yeah. You know, like it would be so much easier if I like could just get a tech nerd expert on the phone and just be like, "Hey man, I did that. I did that. Like I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I'm just saving us both time because I've already spent fucking hours on this. Is it this or is there just tell me that there's no hope. If we go through this list, I'll just try to do the best to capture the audio, do whatever I can, and then we can just move on and just say, "Hey, man, no free video this week. Sorry, guys." You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with that. I just but putting the time in to edit once is like okay, that's I know that's all part of the job, man. And then the next time you're like, okay, well, why did it fail? Well, how come it failed? And then you're like, then it becomes so many other things, and you're like, but everything's the same. It should just be, it's just the thing. It what happened, and not being able to get to the bottom of it is ultimately frustrating, and it really fucks with my mental state. But I feel like even just talking it out, Dom and I talk, ironically enough, about this, about how much, like how beneficial it is for us just to talk it out. So like when my initial reaction was like to be like, oh man, I might just take a mental health day and just say fuck it and just not and say fuck it, no stream today. Like, but I'm like, no, it's not even about like it's not even about that. Like it's not letting it that part of it. Like it's I literally I think it would be better for me just to be like, hey guys, the reason I'm late and the reason I am I seem distracted, it's because mentally I am. And it's because until I actually say all the things in my head, what's up, Cupcake? I won't be able to uh like I won't be able to focus on anything else. So like it doesn't matter. So it's either talking to myself, which is crazy, or it's talking to myself in front of a couple enemies of mine in the computers, not you guys, not the peeps. This is connecting me to you. This is necessary evil. These computers, they hate me. But I just wish I had that human element aspect of my computer that could just be like, just give up, Pat. Pat, it's not gonna happen, bro. The video, the file just don't work, dude. Even though for some reason I can watch it, it works fine. Like the raw actual file works fine, but I cannot uh I can't I can't edit it whatsoever. And it's like, hey, after a while, once I give it a good like again 24 hours or so of effort, I'll go ahead and go. I'm going to throw the towel in on this one. We get some more pounding off here. We got John Montag says, Pat, don't like no pewter. Pat needs smoosh pewter. Dude, I that's one of the things I said out loud. I started speaking to most of the devices in the house and saying, I can't wait until I make enough money. I want to make enough money. The only reason I seek fame, and I want this to be very clear, is so that I can just confidently and much like just a terrible tyrant. I'd like a tyrant electronics user slash proprietor, I don't know, utilizer. I truly do like they benefit us. Yes, I love computers. Great. They're wonderful. They're great for porn or is great. I use a lot of it for porn, but also communication. Communicating with porn also is great, but also sharing pictures of my cat and some sandwiches that I like to eat. It's fun. I like the lighthearted sides, and I like the seeing nature. You know, people putting a camera up to a whale's face. It's really cool. I like that. I like it. But like, there's a lot of things where they're like, "Yeah, it's really great. It can do this," and I go like, "Cool. All right, I'll buy that," and then I'll do that, and I go to do it, and the computer's like, "No, I can't do that. Not with this file." It just feel duped. And when there's no it's the same feeling I have with most of the food delivery app services, Uber Eats, your DoorDashes, your any of them. I'm not particularly, there's not one that I dislike the most. They're all fucking weird because if you have a problem with it, there's no accountability. Once fucking Scott brings your fucking tacos over, if one of your tacos is fucked up, you can't say, "Hey, taco place, you fucked up on my tacos." They'll be like, "No, we didn't do anything. Those tacos were fine when we put them in there. Scott did that." And they'll go, "Scott who?" And I'll call Uber Eats or I'll call DoorDash or I'll call any of them, Grubhub, and I'll say, "Hey, where's Scott with my tacos?" They're like, "Scott who? What are you talking about? What tacos?" And by the way, we have no idea who you are or where this is, and you're not going to get a refund. And fuck you. Like it's like that feeling of like it's a weird risk. It's like a gamble sometimes to fucking to do that shit. And like when it's and I think that's my anxiety is like these are like expensive fucking purchases to me. I don't know how anybody else is doing financially, but when I buy a computer, when I buy a computer, whether it be a lap or desk variety, whether whatever they may be topping, uh I I expect it like I expect it to be the fucking $1,000 worth or whatever the fuck it is. You know, there's not really a great computer for less than that. Like that as far as that can do what I need it to do. So when you buy a fucking hammer, you expect it to goddamn hammer, right? Like fucking hammer, damn it. This is a tool to me. This is all this is not like a this isn't a distraction to me like most people. This is supposed to be for my work. I just want to use this to work, and when it's like, nah, I don't, just imagine if you like went to like use a hammer and it was just like, I don't, whoa, like it just wouldn't go. Like, what the fuck? Actually, that's not really a great example because that's kind of user error. We got more pounding. Ian says, run diagnostic, get nowhere, flip table, smash pewter, buy new pewter. Basically, yeah. That's the only reason I seek fame and or fortune. If I had a if I had a genie lamp, it would just be literally, hey, can I just get unlimited fucking technology and then just be able to just smash like that? Just be that I don't even know if I would need two more wishes. That would be worth it to me because I'm fine. Every other aspect of my life is fine. But if I could just take out all of my anger, and because I know they can't feel things right now, I would feel good about that because like so even though I'm rageful Pat right now. Maybe I'm outlaw Pat. I don't know if I'm breakdown Pat. I don't think I'm breakdown Pat Casey, but I feel like I'm definitely Pat Smash Computer now. But but not but I don't want to hurt. Like that's the thing. I don't want to do. I don't want to smash a sentient computer. I don't want to like hurt a computer that is programmed to feel things. But the ones that are programmed to fucking piss me off, that's the one I just want to fucking punch it so hard. I want to learn fighting so I can fight robots one day. I want to be the first person to die at the hands of a robot, but I want to die like fighting. I want to try to jujitsu a goddamn robot. But more more pounding. Occasionally, a music file I made when I incorporated it into my podcast becomes corrupted when I tried to save the file edit to MP3, and GarageBand will crash. It happens like every three or four times I do it. Jesus, that would be fucking infuriating, Ian. Ian's pounding off hard. Then I have to reinsert the file when I where I edited it, and it's frustrating, and I feel like you. Hell yeah, good. Sometimes it's good to feel like me, because you know what? It's ultimately I understand. Like the reason I have to vocalize it. The reason I have to yell at a fucking computer is because I realize how ridiculous it is to expect something from a computer like this. Like for it to understand my reasoning. But like if you can understand me, computer, please help me. Please just uncorrupt it. I don't know what happened with the file. How and or let's just say this. The file got corrupted. Okay, mistakes happen. I would like to say, if I did it, please tell me at least how to avoid this in the future. What is it that made this corrupt? Where did it go wrong? Where did the file go wrong? I want to know when it got corrupted and when it happened, because I just need to know how to avoid it in the future, because I really ultimately like the computer. Pat like computer. Pat understand computer. Work hard. Pat understand computer. But I straight up unplugged it to punish it. I said, "You're not doing what I asked you to do." I'm clicking something. Like fucking click it, you fuck. Open this thing, damn it. I'm injured. My shoulder's feeling better, but I'm still taking probably this week off of jujitsu. I'm gonna try to stretch it a little bit more, try to get it more less painful. Let's just say. In the meantime, I'm still waiting on my fucking CBD roller thing that I ordered. Actually, should hopefully be here today. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's just I'm just an injured fucking bear trapped in his house that's just fucking just dealing with like Jesus Christ. Just my computer employees are just so insubordinate right now. They're not doing what I'm asking them to do, and I need them to work for me. But we got Cupcake. Old Charles himself, Charles Baynard, is pounding off. He says Ian Strong is the man. Hell yeah, he is. Had to start off with that. Hell yeah. John's asking, you try Control Alt Delete. You know what? I did not. I tried escape, down, back, A B A C, up, down, back, up, but it didn't work. But I feel you, Pat. Charles agrees. Definitely share all the cat pictures. Oh yeah, all the cat pictures. Yeah, Patty bots. I Pat friend with computer. Paddlebot. Paddlebots. I like that. Okay, paddle. Like cuz like battlebots, but Pat. Yeah, thanks Charles. Check out Strong Words with Ian Strong, by the way. Podcast that you can check out. Comes out new episodes every week. Anywhere you get your audio podcasts. Make sure you check that out. As well as Ian Strong on a past episode of Falls Count Anywhere. He's a two-timer. So I believe both episodes. No, actually, at least the most recent episode is available on Baby Mermaid Productions on YouTube. So you can check out the video there, which is available and was done exactly the same way that this one was, but not corrupt. So I'm the dickhead, right? um, no, but I was catching up on some stuff this weekend. But like I was saying, like actually that whole fucking like 20-minute rant before that. Thanks for the plug. Hell yeah. Thank you, Ian, for being an excellent and consistent guest and somebody who pounds off and enjoys the show every Monday and Wednesday and Friday. Uh, as I was saying before I went into that whole, and honestly, I feel better now. Like that's the thing is like it has to it has to be done. It has to be purged completely from my system before I can actually like move on and just go, you know what? And I have no problem accepting defeat. You guys fucking know this. I've explained multiple times on GDP over whether live or not. I've explained like you win or you learn. Like I'm fine with even admitting when I don't know something. Like that's the thing is that's what this is about. It's about learning things. It's about education. It's about adultification. Anytime, you know what I mean? Every time. And if this doesn't play, I swear to God, it played through the wrong thing. Of course, because I chose the right thing, and the computers are out to get me. That's what's happening, guys. The computers hate my guts and they want to make me look bad and they want to make all of my drink drops. They basically want me dehydrated. So most likely you probably heard that possibly on the mic. But when I chose this earlier, I guess it didn't listen. So there we go. Let me try this one more time. The show is about adultification.
Adultification.
Thank you, Lemaire. I appreciate that.
Book it.
Conor McGregor. Shout out to him. Very excited for my guest next week, Andre Gower or Gower, Gower, who played Sean in the 1987 movie The Monster Squad. Very intriguing. I like that. We had I think I want to try to get more guests. I want to have like I love having people obviously join in through Instagram Live when they can, and I like to have guests through Zoom, as much as possible. But like, I've really enjoyed doing the show that I've been doing with Andy, and also like I this sounds like defeatist, Pat, but I feel like I really want to I want to start doing audio only podcasts when available. Like so I think I'm gonna try to put my feelers back out there for production. I'm gonna reassess some things as far as like workload wise, like what do I want to do? Because this is it's like this can't be good for my heart to be defeatist defeatist. Yeah, that's my rap name. Cody's pounding off hard. Da fetus fetus Pat. I like that. That's my rap name. I get into weird specific uh pre and postnatal subjects with that. I want to write that down. Sorry. Defeatist Pat. That's a good Photoshop. um no, I just but like I even having to do that, I'm like, wow, it's just not that bad. Like I went to like no without even totally like really perfecting even like the audio podcast. Like I wanted to have I want it to sound great, but I also want it to look good, and I want people to be able to see it. Like if I'm putting in the work, I want it to look good. So like it's no matter what I've been doing, but if I just generally don't have the knowledge, or if there's something that I'm doing that's not an issue. Like it doesn't mean like, oh, this is not the first time I've had an issue with a software or an uploading thing. Like, but I want it to be. I like it like this. I like being able to stream live, to be able to talk to people live, to have the most reach, whether it be through my Instagram or through the Facebook, just so people pop in. You want to watch for a little bit, pop out. That's cool. Like that's the feel of it. That's what I like, and that's something that I feel like anybody that's out there that's putting out content, you should not only like don't lose the don't just put out what you think you should be putting out. Put out what you actually like to see, and that's something that was suggested early on with me with Manny. Manny suggested to me when I started the Twitch, my Twitch account. I started the Board Georges. I think I think it might have been right before or maybe directly after the quarantine had started. It was like it was right around that time because we had gone to this podcast convention. We had like got all these tips from all these fucking guys who were it was all tricks on how to like trick people to click your, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't about content. It wasn't about it was about like here's how you can structure it to where you can get the most clicks on your page and then monetization. Like I want to monetize. Don't get me wrong. I want to make money doing this, but like I don't want to like I don't want to do it to where like I'm tricking people into things. Like I'll try to use a keyword here or there. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to try to slip a hashtag in there, but I want it to be good shit. Quality over quantity. That's my rule. Yeah, absolutely. Ian agrees, and that's a like-minded person. That's the audience that I want to. That's not really an audience. It's an audience of your peers. Like you want to have people that are like the thing that I miss most during the quarantine and what I realized the most, and it doesn't matter like the like I don't have to necessarily watch it. It's more efficient for me to listen to something. So that's why I always like to listen. I love listening to hockey games. I actually kind of prefer listening to hockey games, except for like obviously it's fun to watch a hockey game, like don't like especially live. But if I get to listen to one while I'm driving somewhere, like that's great because there it's I just have the kind of brain that it and I love the live element of it. So if I'm putting out when I put out like Falls Count Anywhere, Proper Ebonics, What About with Andy or Pat and stuff like that. All of them have now the audio only version of them, and that's the thing that like that's I feel like the thing that I can kind of hang my hat on. That's the thing that I like. I like that's the thing that I never have troubles with. I don't have problems doing that. It may not always be perfect, but I maybe in that sense because I feel like a perfectionist, but the reason I plug the things I'm plugging is because I feel like there's value to them. So I appreciate anybody that is pounding off, that hangs out, that checks out anything, whether even if you don't like it. That's what I say. Pound off. Let me know. The only way it's going to get better is not just like mindlessly putting out content. It's this is I want it all to be living, all to be live, and all to be reactive and stuff like that. Hashtags are young man's marketing game. Hell yeah. Wait, is that good? Hashbags. Yeah, I like that. Also got Cody pounding off. He says you want to know how to extend your reach, honest way, so people who do want to your content can find it. Yeah, absolutely. That's a blurred there's a blurred line between manipulating people to click on something that they don't want and using best practices so people who do want to find you can. Well, yeah. I that's I think that's kind of the thing where I just literally just want to say this is what I'm going to be talking about, but it doesn't mean that I can't somewhat dictate what I talk about. Like I'll be honest. Before I didn't know. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. Obviously, we're going to talk about I watched the UFC fights this weekend. There was just one devastating Jorge Masvidal style knockout with a knee by Corey Sanhagen that was fucking nuts. And Amazon wish list. So I was like, there's not a ton of substance there, but it doesn't mean like it's hard to even get into the groove of talking about that. Like, but I that like that's the thing. It's like that's what I want to talk about is is finding I'll go on Reddit and try to sometimes I'll find like is there a popular trending story that's happening that I can talk about or what's the angle of the Super Bowl. So when I was trying to look up some I just want to find like make sure that I have my facts right for what I was going to talk about with the Super Bowl. There was like a story about I remember this during the game. Uh, Tyron Matthew. he deleted a tweet. He tweeted some shit that about their his and Tom Brady's interaction, and I was like, holy shit. So like that ends up being the thing. Like, oh shit, I'm that's genuinely interesting to me. Like that's how I know. Like so everything's kind of like uh gut reaction stuff. Like so any of the content that I do put out, as long as like I'm not like using the tricks. I'm not trying to trick anybody. Is what I'm saying. It's like I don't feel like it's as blurred of a line with me because I'm more honest with the fact that like if I'm happy talking about a trending story, but it's just got to be there's got to be an angle to it that's interesting to me, and because it has to be honest. So quality over quantity for sure, and not using tricks to fool people, but just the right words to draw them in. So that's and I think that's ultimately where I feel comfortable putting stuff out. And so like I was saying, you can check it out at Baby Mermaid Productions on YouTube. You can go there to the page and follow that, subscribe, hit the little notification things. If you like the video, hit like. If you don't, hit thumbs down. But or comment. Let me know what happened. Like Tom. Tom helped me discover sometimes you got to slow down. Speak in complete sentences. Criticism sometimes works. I think that it's harder to grow your audience with a multi-dimensional podcast. I know that every one of my episodes won't appeal to everyone, but I hope that it is. I hope my hope is that my audience trusts me to provide the quality content regardless of topic. That's Ian Strong pounding off again. Strong words with Ian Strong, and that's the thing is what's if you would listen to it, if you would like it, if it's something that you would be interested in checking out, then yeah, that's something. Why not? Why not do that? And no, I nobody was really doing anything like this in a way, in an interactive way. And that's the thing is I feel like the best way to grow an audience and the best way I have success with audiences, at least on stage doing stand up, is by interacting with them and talking to them and not saying that my material doesn't work, but it can't always be that. Not every performance, there is still reactions. Like if somebody has a weird laugh, you have to be in the moment. I love being in the moment, but I'm not great. I don't know how, that was a thing, that was a realization during pandemic quarantine one, like when it started a year ago, uh, almost. It was me going like, all right, well, what actually am I putting out there? So now I can't actually. I was always I never really looked great on paper. Like my credit scores shit usually. A lot of times with jobs, if I worked harder than my position. So I had a lot of value at a lot of jobs, but my position at a lot of jobs wasn't great on paper. So like, oh yeah, you're a shift, but like I was doing a lot of the ASM stuff, and they had it was I think I was manipulated a lot in a lot of my earlier jobs, so I didn't look great on paper. So I'm kind of have that mindset that kind of was cemented in me. So now that I don't actually get to, I know that if I can talk to you face to face, most likely if I'm going to have any success, it's I feel more comfortable presenting myself live than I do through a bio or through like headshot, like because I do kind of just, yeah, I kind of just look like every normal bearded white dude mass shooter guy. But I'm you want to be genuine, Pat. I want to talk to people and let them know. So like you want to have that, I want to have that in all of the work that I do as well. So whether it be if I'm doing crowd work in a uh uh what's it called, audience. I forgot what they were called. Or it be talk, people pounding off in the comments and me reacting to that, trying to read them. I know that there's I understand the production of like it's not just a normal dude sharing his comments or his hot takes about fucking Tom Brady or whatever. Like, yeah, he's the greatest. We all know that. This fucking we realize this. But there is some kind of element to it, like, because it's not just my voice. Like, I that's why I invite people when you are watching. If you want, you can follow at Baby Mermaid Productions on Instagram and ask to join, and your audio will be featured. You can talk as much as you want. You share what your feelings are. If you want to talk to me live, you can do it. It's just a platform for anybody watching or following along, listening now. So I do appreciate that I offer that on that consistency throughout all the projects that I do now. I don't know if it necessarily should we do. I guess we could do audio only versions of hacks if we wanted, but I think the video it's kind of a video only show. Plus, it's not a podcast, so not a podcast. Do you think doing these casts 3 times a week will help you with your crowd work when you get back on stage? Actually, that's kind of this was when I decided to not go out to open mics even if they open back up. Just uh, like I said, when I went to Boomerangs, even before, because they did have to shut down again. The governor did shut it down again for like 2 weeks. I think it was around the Christmas time, around January. I can't even remember. But even before that, I was like, every time I was going there, like nobody, staff or uh like patrons, anybody, barely anybody was wearing masks. And I was just like that. I'm like, guys, what the fuck? Like, I get that people don't like it, but like it's still the reason we're allowed to eat indoors. And no, it's does there's no magical spell that if you're eating, you're not susceptible to COVID, but it's about wearing the mask whenever you're not eating or drinking. It's just that's part of it. Like I don't know how people aren't at least understanding of it at this point, but or how it's a debate, or it's not even a debate. Like I said, you walk in and like the hostess is like, "Hey, how's it going?" And it's just like, "What? Why do I see your smile right now?" Uh-oh. There's no reason for you not to have it on. So it's just I don't know. It just seems like I don't think I'm totally affected. It's not even just the fact. It's just the fact that I didn't feel like I wanted to do it. But ever since then, I kind of did make it an effort that, like, yeah, if you have an idea, try to flush it out on the show a little bit and or do that. But I hope it will. It's something that I feel comfortable doing anyway, and it was a style that I was going into, a more improvisational style of like stand up, more in the moment kind of way anyway. And it was something that I was doing before I decided to stop going out there and everything. But since now I'm getting vaccinated, I don't know if I'll double mask. It's by the way, it's not necessarily double masking. It's the fact it's the if you have like a 2-ply mask, that's what I think they're referring to, is the 2-ply, like it's like two, like you can't just have a single layer. But I don't know about the double mask thing, but I got these mic covers. I'm prepared to go back once I get the other half of the vaccination, and hopefully if I don't die, from the vaccination, then I'll come back. But I think it's been, at least as far as a good exercise to help work that muscle. Uh I think John asked that. That's what he said. You never look good on paper, on screens, or in person. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, now I know. John is pounding off hard in the comments after asking me a very nice, intriguing question. He insults me. That's very nice. Premium Ron is also pounding off. He says, I legit didn't know the Super Bowl was last night. Wow. Yeah, I was like that. I knew about it the past couple years, but I haven't really watched it. I didn't. The I remember the year that uh it was fucking, of course, if it's a Super Bowl in the past, again, 10 years or so, um they it's obviously involved the Patriots and or Tom Brady in some aspect or another, but I think it was the Patriots against the the Falcons. That's what it was. And that's where they went up and they ended up losing in like the last quarter or last 3 minutes, some fucking crazy amount of time. Like, so they that I remember that Super Bowl was the first one where I don't think I watched it. I didn't even turn it on at all. I think I ended up checking the score at like halftime and I was like 28-3. Shit. I was just like, well, I was like, I bet he comes back. I bet this is going to be an epic comeback. And I still didn't turn it on, and it absolutely was, and I regret not watching that live. I think I did watch the Eagles against the Patriots. I watched that Super Bowl. Again, fucking, fucking Tom fucking Brady. We got John's also pounding off. He says, "Yeah, don't go to open mics. That's where I got 100% of my COVID from." Right. Yeah, I think it's just like I I don't like nothing has changed except for now that there is a portion of society that have been vaccinated, or there is now vaccinations available. Also, treatment has become I think they understand a lot more of it, but now with this whole fucking mutation shit that's out there, and the fact that it was like tracked in Harrisburg. There was a person that lived in Harrisburg that had that, and I live in Harrisburg, so I don't want that to fucking happen. And again, maybe that's just the news lying. Who knows? But I can't sit there and go like, oh, I'm just gonna go out when there's super fucking COVID now, and just pretend like and pretend like it matters. Like I have a show coming up, I believe in March. Actually, I should check my calendar. But I believe I have a show coming up either in February, at the end of February or March. And so I will eventually, like I said, I've timed it out perfectly. I'll get the other half of the vaccination and be able, it won't be as crazy that I'm risking my life at an open mic because I'll have a show. Manny's been working really hard. That's another thing is I'm trying to also limit the people that I'm in contact with. But Manny's going out to Mike, Youngblood's going to Mike's and stuff like that. I can only trust that they're being so careful. So it's not just about me going back and doing comedy and stuff like that. It's about that shit too. But actually, speaking of that, my last night was a Super Bowl. The Tom Brady fucking won again. You're a Florida man. COVID can't beat you. Yeah, I ultimately I hope, and I appreciate that, Josh. Josh Joy pounding off hard on the Instagram. Uh, I I want to. I don't want to think that because I don't really live health. Like people think that, like, oh, Pat, you're like, yeah, you lose weight, you do fucking living healthy or whatever. Like I no, I still eat like garbage. I just try to time it to where it's most efficient for me. Sorry, my nose is stuffy. So I try to time it where I can go, oh, I'll take B12 and or I'll try to intermittent fast to where like I time the Popeyes chicken sandwiches at the time where they can digest fully and my blood sugar can go down and all that other bullshit. That's the most of it. I take vitamins so because I know that I'm not getting nutrients from my food. Like that's the point I'm trying to make. Is it so it's not like anything like that. So I think COVID could beat me, but I am definitely not vitamin D deficient. That's for fucking sure. I take plenty of vitamin D. Thank you very much. And I give plenty of vitamin D too, baby. I don't know why I did this. Like that's down here. But this is but this you can't see it down here. Ron's pounding off. He said, "How much have you lost while doing these methods?" Since then, I started at 3. Actually, so yeah, probably no. I started jujitsu around that time, so I was probably 3. No, 270 probably. I don't know. Probably 40 pounds or so. I don't know. Like a good amount. Ron's asking how much I lost while doing these methods. I'm the I'm the I don't know what he's saying there. Oh, healthiest. I'm the healthiest I've been since I've been in years 10 years, and I got COVID. This some bitch comes for all of us. Also, Ron says, if you don't mind me asking. Oh, no, I don't mind at all. Ian's also saying, I gave my girlfriend some vitamin D twice last night. Booyah. Good. As long as you can get a vitamin D toxicity. I think there is a thing where if you get too much, but I don't think she's getting too much. If no offense, Ian, but see what I did? Burn, sick burn. Gotcha, Ian. Um, yeah, it's not. It doesn't mean he, like yeah. John runs fucking miles a day. He fucking drinks nice hard seltzers instead of like terrible for you alcohol. Eats good meats. He only drinks the finest wines. Cupcakes can't catch COVID depending on the type of cupcake you are on the inside. Low blow, Pat. Nice. I like that. Let's see what he did there. Low blow because his penis. Uh, I don't know about that, Charles. I think cupcakes can. I don't know. Well, I obviously it's so fun. One of the funniest fucking thing. I laughed so fucking hard. I can't. I wish I could remember where he said it, but I remember Charles saying, "I am so." He's like, "Yo, I am so surprised I haven't had COVID." I'm like, "Yeah, me too." They legit need to study Charles's DNA. This guy is out there mixing it up with everyone, and he's still COVID free. Well, he also could just be non-symptomatic or asymptomatic or whatever. That could also be the case. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's. It doesn't mean necessarily that he's like immune to it, but it does mean that he may be somewhat adverse to it. I think is that the right word? But yeah, Charles is maybe it's the blue Gatorade. I don't know. Maybe he can give us some tips. But I was watching the Super Bowl last night, and first of all, I didn't realize what LV was. I was like, "What the fuck is LV?" Well, I didn't even know I did not know what number Super Bowl was. So that's what I was saying. Like, I have not watched any football this year. I haven't really watched anything. Like, I'm familiar with the bigger stories that happen, but I was trying to find out Las Vegas, yeah. Super Bowl Las Vegas, but I was psyched because it was Tampa Bay again in the in the finals of their prospective sports championship, which was cool because and I'm not somebody who was a Bucks fan normally. I wasn't even a Bucks fan even when I was like into football. I followed closely the Jets, but that was just obviously that's heartbreaking. But the Bucks I was never necessarily a fan of. I was always a fan of the Lightning since like 2000 or no yeah from like yeah 2000 on, from the year 2000 until current. I have been a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. That has been my hockey team, then my one and only hockey team. I have other teams that I like to watch, but there's teams, and I love hockey merch. That's the thing that I feel like I get mixed up with a lot. And I've given Bert Kreischer a lot of shit about this. Not I don't know, but somebody who is like when the Rams were in the Super Bowl, I think it was last year. Was it last year? Um, but like he was like Ram shit, like rooting for the Rams. I love the Rams, all this other shit, and wearing their hat and their jerseys all the way up into the game and following them through the playoffs. And then this year he's like, I'm a diehard Bucks fan. I'm all, like, God, you know what, man? And then also we bought that Two Bears One Sap, the Two Bears podcast live stream that they did with Warren Sapp. It was Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, and Warren Sapp doing a live stream, like watch along, essentially for the Super Bowl, and it was entertaining. But then you find out like Bert Kreischer knows nothing about football, so I don't like. I don't want to be one of those guys, but I do love hockey merch, and Charles and I have talked about it a ton. Uh, we it's like Youngblood and I, John Montag and I, we have a fucking group chat. We talk about like this is stuff that we just like the style of clothing, even like that kind of thing. But I love hockey merch, so I do have a Blues jersey. I got a New Jersey Devils jersey. That was my first hockey team that I followed them 1999, and I credit them for at least partially being a big part, at least in my hockey fandom, because I followed them in their championship year, and that was very exciting year. My best friend and me and my girlfriend both got it, and at the same place. I did my sex on her the next day. Next day, not knowing, we likely got it, and she got it, and I didn't. Huh? My best friend and my girlfriend both got it from the same place, and I did sex on her the next day and did not. Wow, that's pretty cool. So that means now we know that Ian does not kiss during sex. Can't wait for the Seattle merch to. I know, man. Charles is pounding off hard. That fucking Seattle merch is going to be great. The Kraken, I cannot wait. But I love the fact that even though I'm not the biggest Rays fan, even though I'm not the biggest Bucks fan, it's cool to see Tom Brady do well. It's nice to it's really nice to hear, like, at the end of this, like, today most people were still saying I can't talk shit about him. He's one of the greatest. Like, he is the undeniably great. Like, that was incredible. There was a lot of I think there was a lot of shit calls. There's a lot of weird uh ticky tack calls, but there's also some, like, just, hey, you can't push off. Sometimes you can't push off, sometimes you can. I don't think they were one sided necessarily, but I think there was also the I don't know if it really had that much of an effect actually on them, and I don't know if they would actually if anybody would admit it or not, but it has to have somewhat of an effect to be the first time ever that a Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year, it's got to take some of that out of it, right? Because this is the biggest game of the year, and one team is playing in their home stadium. That's fucking awesome. That's like that alone to me was like, oh, that's historic enough that I have to watch this. I have not followed the drama of football or any of the storylines of really except for anything that made its way out of the sports news cycle. I really haven't watched a lot, but I know Tom Brady's incredible. I have O negative blood. I heard we don't get COVID. Oh wow! I also heard A positive are super fucked. Hold on, super fucked or super tucked, and they all get. Oh, I'm assuming she meant all fucked, but I think it says tucked. Uh, that sucks. But I think if if I were to go to a sporting event, I really miss going to hockey games. I would I've been to the only football games really that I've been to. I've been to one in Miami and a couple in Tampa. I've been to that arena. It's just cool that, like, that historic of a thing has happened in a place that I grew up, and I drove, like, working in Florida. I drove past that arena so many times. When the Bucks won the Super Bowl the first time, I went. We drove there that night, and everybody was there celebrating, waiting for the team to arrive. I don't think they ever did arrive to the arena, because why would they? Even if they did fly back that night, why would they come right to the arena? Either way, we were there celebrating. Antonio Brown is the true great story from the Super Bowl. He went from no one in the league willing to take him on their roster to winning the Super Bowl. So he was on the, yeah, because Tom Brady requested him, right? It was a great. It's just cool, man. Like, I think everything about it is cool, and the fact that nobody the next day is going like, "Fuck Tom Brady." I think Damian is. Damian Robinson was very upset, but I think for the most part, what I've seen is like, man, fuck, 10 Super Bowl appearances, 7 wins. He's 43 years old. I remember hearing somebody say before the game how concerned they were with Kansas City's offensive line, and even me being a knowing very little about football and watching that game, I was like, oh, now I see it. Tom Brady has a little bit of time there, and also he's Tom Brady, and also he has like, hey, I want this receiver and this receiver and this receiver, and also Gronk is my best friend. Give him any number he wants. But Super Bowl 55, I found out. Las Vegas means 55. 55. Somebody said Chris Wood was an insurance. Yeah, yeah. Chris Wood and Tommy Pope. Tommy Pope and Chris Wood were both in a Super Bowl commercial. I missed that commercial, but Kirk Griffiths, one of the co-hosts of Proper Ebonics, texted Alan and I in our group chat that he saw Tommy Pope and Chris Wood in a Super Bowl commercial. So shout out to those guys. That is fucking huge. That's really cool. But for Super Bowl 55, Tom Brady. So okay, that's what it was. So there was some incidents between him and Tyrann Mathieu. I believe I don't know if I said that right or not. We got Ian saying, I've never seen a team seem so deflated, no pun intended, by the amount. Yeah, that's funny. By the amount of penalties they committed. Yeah, it was really frustrating. You saw them like even in coming out in the second half, like they didn't come out like determined. I don't know what it was. It just it had to either have been written off ahead of time. I don't want to discredit anything any of the athletes did. Couple of bullshit calls. Yeah, I would agree. Couple of bullshit calls, but it was still 31-9. Or right? Wasn't it 31-9? God damn it. It was stuffy. But then was cooked regardless. Yeah, it was nuts. I believe, Tyrann Mathieu, so like there was some incident with him and Tom Brady during the game. And like after a touchdown, Tom Brady went up to him and talked shit, but there was like some shit talking back and forth. Pat saying the Super Bowl is scripted. Crack the fuck up. But Pat saying the Super Bowl is. I didn't say it was scripted. Did I say it was scripted? Uh-oh. I think that there was some argument between Tyrann Mathieu and Tom Brady. He said, I think he. I think I don't know what happened, but he tweeted something after the game that I guess he took down. I didn't read the whole tweet, but some of the things that were I guess in it was he says he called me something I won't repeat. So this goes to, I feel like the backlash to Tom Brady is just going to be delayed. I'm calling it now. I think Tom Brady, being the greatest quarterback of all time, I think that he will have a the only way I can equate it is like a Tiger Woods style like collapse. I think whatever he said to Tyrann Mathieu, like if that audio gets out, if it's something that he said I won't repeat, like I don't know if he called him a pussy or a cunt, like or something like that. Like I don't know if he's just like a nice Christian guy and doesn't want to say like a terrible curse word, or if he said something that like it's a slur that's really bad. You know what I mean? Like I've never heard anything like that from Tom Brady ever, about him, at least that he's racist or anything like that. But like this is it's really it's a weird story. Like because like I said, when I was looking up, I just Googled Super Bowl LV, and like the majority of the stories that came up were about Tyrann Mathieu's tweet. And he also says, I never really saw that side of Tom Brady, to be honest. But whatever, no comment. Like, by the way, I don't think that Tyrann Mathieu understands what no comment means. I don't think he understands. He said, because this is a lot of comments. The one comment about he called me something I won't repeat, and also saying I never saw that side of Tom Brady, to be honest. I also think that this is possible, like very what is it? creative headline writing. Like maybe some of these things could have been taken out of context, like what he's saying is like maybe like the side of, again, maybe a super ultra competitive side of Tom Brady that he's saying like fuck you, you fucking pussies, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like it might be like, whoa, Tom Brady's usually not calling us all pussies. Oh, he called. Oh. Okay. Yeah, no comment. From guy who just made comment. Hey, by the way, Tom, I don't know what he's on, but maybe it's steroids. But yeah, no comment. Bruh, that was a comment. You just commented on the thing and then said no comment. You can't do that. But he says it. But and like, I don't I get this, but also it was kind of the reaction that fuck, why can't I remember his name? Paulo Costa had after Israel Adesanya beat him. Adesanya, I can't remember. I can't say it right. I'm sorry. But he said like he was basically saying like, how dare you disrespect me like that? Come in here and fight me. Like he was like saying like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and it's like, dude, you just lost. You just lost. So like you bringing up that you're upset about it, or like what do you want us to do? Like you sharing your feelings that you are upset about it means nothing, because what are you going to do? He just beat your ass and then humped you while you were still like regaining consciousness on the ground. He beat the shit out of you. And then you're going to be like, oh yeah, say that to my face, pussy. He just did. He said it to your face, and then he punched your face really hard and hit it with his elbow and kicked you, and then you're bleeding, and then you fell. Like, what's the meme that everybody shares of Stan's dad from South Park? I didn't hear no bell. Like there was okay, that's because you were unconscious when the bell rang. Because I won, so that's why you didn't hear the bell. It happened. Like if a bell rings and you're unconscious, does it still ring? Yes, for everybody else that heard it. So his thing is, I never really saw that side of Tom Brady, to be honest. But whatever, no comment. It's over. I'm done with it. Like it's like saying like like whatever. All right, well game over. Timeout. Time in. Timeout. Like you can't do that. I called Donald Trump before the game, and he told me to knock this motherfucker out. Tom Brady. Actually, no, that was Derek Lewis. Thank you very much. Derek Lewis is actually attributed that quote, my friend, and I think you know that I know that because I love the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, who is fighting Curtis Blades coming up on the upcoming UFC event. I'm really excited about that. The main event, heavyweight main event, is Curtis Blades against Curtis Razor Blades against Derek the Black Beast Lewis. I love that. I love that guy. Love him. USA up in this hoe. That's why I bought that shirt. I have that shirt that says USA up in this hoe. Because he said Donald Trump called me. That was when he fought Alexander Volkov, who just beat fuck, I can't remember, Alistair Overeem this weekend. Handily, very precise striking. Excellent fight. Because my balls was hot. Yeah. Also Tom Brady. Dude, that would be awesome if Tom Brady said my balls. Tom Brady, you just won MVP for like the 110,000th time of ever in football. Yes. What are you going to do? I don't know why this guy's interviewing him, but and he said, I'm gonna go to Iceland. How come? Because my balls was hot. Doesn't work. Fuck that up. See, now if this was a crowd scenario, I'd go back into material, but I don't have a material, so I'm gonna just talk about this fucking quote some more. I don't know. I think if anything comes of this, every part of the game is recorded. They had really cool camera views, like very super duper 4K high def views on the field. They have the like spider cam thing. They got like I'm sure Tom Brady is fucking mic'd up. It's the Super Bowl. It's his 10th Super Bowl. They have to be documenting it somewhat. So I say there's going to be footage somewhere, and I don't know if he's going to be able to pay enough people off this time But like the fact that there's very little shit talking about Tom Brady happening today, and like how handily he won that, I feel like there's going to be whatever he said to Mr. Matthew here and got him so fired up, so hot under the collar, and whatever he never seen that side of him before, and he's going to say something to him that he's never going to repeat or whatever it is. Like, I've been to Iceland, hot balls aplenty. Ian's been to Iceland. I didn't know that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but the NFL will do everything they can to bury that audio. He's their golden boy. I know, but like once he retires, even before he retires, like they still have Peyton Manning. I mean, Peyton Manning is no fucking 10. By the way, the fact that anybody's talking about it anymore, anybody would like, is there anybody that's been to 10 Super Bowls? 10 Super Bowls. There, won 7 of them. Holy fuck. I, I don't know what. Yeah, you go for the even number. Lucky number 7 though, right? Stop now. But like, wow, holy fuck. I don't know if there's with as much as there as much accessibility as there is, and as many moving pieces there are at the NFL. I honestly don't know if they can, because all this has to do, this audio has to get leaked somewhere. That all is one person at the NFL, somebody doing some audio editing or something like that somewhere. I want to know what he said. That's I can't fully, like, I will never ever say that Tom Brady is not an incredible athlete and that he's not, but as far as like being like, wow, what an incredible guy. Only 2 teams have won 6 in history. Tom's won 7. Right. Peyton Manning used to put his dong on trainers' heads while they worked on his leg. That got out, and he was still bulletproof. Okay, so yeah, dude. I mean, Peyton Manning's here, dude. Marilyn Manson. I remember that was the initial controversy with him. Back in the day, was like he got like an indecency thing because he put his balls on a security guard's head or something like that. So like, I mean, and nobody was putting up with that bullshit. If Peyton Manning can be like, boom, and he's just like, I'll just put my balls on your head. I put my balls on your. I can't do it. Nationwide is on my balls. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that I think whatever he said, because that's why he took it down. I think he was like, I can't let it be known, because like every inch of that field was being recorded in one way or another. We saw the streaker or whatever, the person that ran on the field and was running, like, and got tackled by the security. Great tackle, by the way. Uh, the guy that ran on the field, that, like, they caught that guy. Like, I saw video of that today. So there is different angles. There's different like mics that was picked up on. There's gonna be, and I think the reason he deleted the tweet was because I don't think he wanted to give up. I don't think he wanted to show his hand, but it already had gotten picked up. So maybe he was just like, oh, whatever, I overreacted. We lost. I'm upset about it. They have drone footage now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they have like probably 4K drones. Somebody has a clip of whatever Tom Brady said to him. And if it's the F word, that's not fuck, cool, whatever. That's still not, you know what I mean? Like I think it's something that's going to get him. I don't know if it's necessarily a racial thing, but I think it is something that was cancelable. But I don't know. Dude, even with 10 Super Bowl appearances, if you drop a hard a hard FAG, or you hard NIG, you know what I mean? Well, any combination of those 3 Gs, 3-letter Gs, anything like that, you're going to be, not that he's like, I think he will have to bow out and not, like, he can't sail off into the sunset, but I don't think that like his life, like I think he's okay. Like I, I don't know if they couldn't put him in the record books because of that. I don't know if they couldn't have him in the Hall of Fame because of that. But what if this unloads a waterfall? And this is purely speculation. This is me building a storyline of like, yeah, but like, sure, he's incredible at like everything, but like, there's gotta be a downside. There's gotta be, aside from him kissing his son on the lips, open mouth or whatever. Hey, how do you like these nuts in the Nationwide jingle? Oh, okay. Let's see. Hey, how do you like these nuts? I like it. John practiced that. I like the fact that possibly Mrs. John Montag, Lady John, might have heard that and heard him workshopping that out loud, humming it to himself in the bathroom, maybe. Hey, do you like these nuts? Like, what are you saying? He is one of the highest paid QBs of all time and still makes less money than his wife. He will be fine post football. Yeah, he's fine. He's worth like a fraction of his wife's wealth, which is crazy. Isn't this nuts? Every time at 12, I've noticed this by the way. I should just have a song queued up for 12:30 because I feel like every stream at 12:30, that's like the pissing hour. 12:30 is the pissing hour. Hold on. Also that, by the way, 12:30 pissing hour is definitely a good Photoshop. The pissing hour. But I have to take a piss. It just hit me like a motherfucker. So I guess I don't know what song I could play. Um, I guess I would play this one. It's a good one. I played it recently, but it's got farts in it and burps, and I like it. It's another song featured on the Buddha Boys show, and it's called Cool Farter. So I'm gonna play this for you. Run downstairs, take a piss, and I'll be right back. So stick around.
Cool. Wow. Cool. Fucking rethink yourself, you idiot. Cool. Wow. Fucking rethink yourself, you wow idiot. Cool. I have taken
And wipe my
shits
asshole.
big enough that my hand, any amount going in the toilet, would have hit it.
Cool. That's too much poop. You should see a doctor.
Cool. Fucking rethink yourself, you idiot. Cool. No, not this show, Pat.
Ramirez here.
Cool. Fucking rethink yourself, you idiot.
He's family.
Cool. Not this show, Pat.
Ramirez here. He's family.
Fucking rethink yourself, you wow. Cool. Cool. Wow. Cool. Fucking rethink yourself, wow, idiot.
Damn it. I'm a lot like Tom Brady. He too makes a fraction of what his wife makes. Yeah, that's actually true. Play Up by Cardi B. I can't take requests really. And I definitely didn't even time that right. Or maybe the computer failed me again. Who knows? But I want it to be I want to be great like Tom Brady. He was actually able to make Tampa Bay into Champa Bay. He was able to bring look who was it was Trent Dilfer, if I remember correctly. Trent Dilfer was the quarterback when they won their first Super Bowl, and I remember being like, hell yeah, good for you, Trent Dilfer. But come on, man, that defense, that's what did it. And realizing what that person, I wish, like I said, I know that there was multiple people that were saying it, but when people brought up the fact that or offensive line was going to fail Kansas City, I was like, okay, whatever. I don't notice that kind of stuff. That's how little, like I said, little I know. But I'm watching it and I'm going like, oh shit. Oof, yikes. So it's good to see that Tampa Bay has more to celebrate. I also had to look up what the Roman numerals were, which I don't think I still learned anything. But I did look up one fun fact. Hold on. If I can find it here. Where did I? Oh, I didn't save it. Of course I didn't. But I had a story. I looked up why they use Roman numerals. Why do they use Roman numerals for the Super Bowl? There we go. The Roman numerals were adopted to clarify any confusion that may occur because the NFL championship game, the Super Bowl, is played in the year following the chronologically recorded season. Numerals in I through IV were added later for the first 4 Super Bowls. Interesting. That's actually very practical. I actually like that explanation a lot. Boom, asked and answered. It has something to do with some type of Illuminati thing. Oh, okay, so that's the truth. John's pounding off hard. I like that. It's I before V, except after L. I think that's Roman numerals. Also, I started the Amazon wish list. Huh? I'm officially a cam girl now. I did it. I joked about it, but I was like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do it. I'll it's gonna be it's in the description of the Facebook video here. It's gonna be in the description for the YouTube as well as the audio that comes out. So if you're listening or watching this right now and you want to check out what I have on the wish list, go ahead and check it out and send me right now. All I added was bandanas because my obviously my wardrobe budget has been severely, not severely, let's say strictly, not even enforced. I can't even say strictly. I've been strictly enforcing it myself. I asked for it from my wife, Dominique, and I asked her what that includes, and it's anything that I wear. It's wardrobe. Bandanas, from bandanas to socks and shoes, and anywhere in between. Tom Brady's actually a chemtrail? What the fuck? John, I don't know if you should admit that on fucking Instagram, bro. There's been some cutbacks at the in the office, yeah. So if you feel like if there's something that you and I'm gonna like that's gonna be the one where these are obviously things that I like bandanas I've bought for myself, that's been Pat, I'm gonna send some junk brand headbands. They're the best. Perfect. That's I can't thank you enough, John. That's great. Let's do it. Wear them when I wear them when I run. Oh, by the way, have you been back running in the summer? He runs when he's running in the summer. They will be great for adult karate. Hell yeah. Yes. They probably come off when I'm grappling, but that's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind things when they come off when I'm grappling. You know what I'm saying? John's out of COVID quarantine. Hopefully he's back to running. Actually, I don't know if he's back to running or not. But I just so yeah, I have bandanas on there. I put the drum set on there, but really that's really just a placeholder. That's gonna be some things that like, yeah, sure. If I get a wealthy billionaire or somebody that feels like they're super generous or anything like that, you can buy me whatever's in the wish list, but it's literally just a wish list. This is essentially like a wedding registry, but for a wedding that never is going to happen. That's how I'm kind of trying to treat this. They're not necessarily just needs, but they're like, what would you get if money wasn't an option? What would you like? Well, actually, the drum set, I just added a drum set in there, but it's one of those digital drum set things that it's like, yeah, that's something. For some reason I made big purchases, like I was talking about at the beginning of the show, but I want it to be, oh, ran up 13 miles over the weekend. Holy shit. Nice. Good job, buddy. John's back to running. Those lungs are healthy again. I like it. Make sure to get checked out for clots, buddy. But I think there's something I was talking about with Dom, and also a little bit with Youngblood recently about I've been targeted by LL Bean recently as a on Facebook, or I think it's either Facebook or Instagram, and and I'm getting these like it's like this direct, it's like they're cool looking thing. I don't even know what they're called. They're like Adornic, I think that's what they're called. But they're like pullover hoodie style, like windbreakers. They zip halfway down and they have like they literally call it, like in the description, a kangaroo pocket. So yeah, I'm into it. And I was talking about that. I was like, obviously it's working. Whatever. I don't know when I mentioned that, when I would like those or anything like that, but I don't remember ever. I don't even know what that was until they showed me. So it's working. However they're doing it. But it kind of is scratching an itch that I had recently, where I was reminded in an episode that I was recording of Proper Ebonics, like a month or two ago, maybe. It was a while ago, because I've kind of been on a somewhat of a hunt for it since then. But it's something that I was known to what is it? I was raised knowing. I don't know. I don't even know how it was brought to my attention as a poncho. At the International Folk Fair back in Florida, in St. Petersburg, Florida, when we went there, you go around with your little passport to each booth, and you'd visit, and it gets stamped with every country, and you learn something about that country. And I remember really getting drawn to the poncho. I loved it. It was like a pullover hoodie that has like, it's like a hoodie, but it's like a stitched thing. It's almost I don't know what it weaved. I don't know what it exactly is, but but I heard about it recently on an episode of Proper Ebonics. The guys were talking about it, and I guess it's also referred to as a drug rug. So I put a drug rug on my wish list, as well as the bandanas. So you can check that out. The link's going to be underneath here. It's GDP, Pat's wish list. I can't even remember what I typed, what I actually referred to it as. Let's see here. GDP Live wish list. Yeah, that's what it is. So I got my drug rug, I got a drum set, and I got some bandanas. And I'm just gonna like literally just look through. I want to get some paranormal stuff on there, so I can do some ghost hunting. And it's essentially the same idea as the tip jar, but you're spending the money instead of me. So I don't even need a budget anymore for that stuff. You guys can do it. If you want to get me some bandanas or whatever. Actually, I really would like to have it to where I don't know if I can. I think I can have it where you guys can add stuff too. So if you do want to just send me something that I have to wear, as long as it's not like, uh, like racist, super racist, like it can be racist against thing. This is a fun thing. It actually brings me into my the word of the day today, which as we all know, in February is not officially the word of the day. It's actually words to celebrate Black History Month. So we get ready for it. Trying to cover it up. So I don't mind necessarily. So me being somebody who is a white person who is not necessarily offended when somebody is racist against white people, I don't mind if you get me an article of clothing that has something referring to a racist thing against, like, just us whites. That's fine. I don't mind that. But even still, let's just try to keep it cool. But I want to have it a way where you can send me clothes that I'll wear on the show, because I don't mind. I can make anything look good, baby. You know what I'm saying? You send me anything. I just bought cargo pants for the first time in a long time. I haven't had a cargo pant in a while. It's kind of. I mean, it was on discount, but it's also still Old Navy. You know what I mean? But hey, I'll wear anything, pal, and I'll make it look good. But I would like that. I don't. And the reason I was saying that this brings into my subject is because Karen is a word that I feel like has been utilized as a maybe a pejorative or a descriptor for white ladies usually. This kind of reminded me of today's word to celebrate Black History Month, and this is from the Dictionary of American Regional English. I believe it's based in Wisconsin, so it's dare dare dot wisc dot edu. You can go there, and it's just something I stumbled on when I was like, I wanted to do something themed towards Black History Month and still educational, something that I can learn about these terms and about the origins of maybe some sayings that are commonly used or that I'm familiar with, and I don't really understand the origin. And still, even like Word Genius's words of the day, it doesn't necessarily give me the exact precise thing, but it brought me to learning more about Langston Hughes, the Harlem Renaissance, and some of the more literary works as opposed to the visual works that I was already somewhat familiar with from past art classes and stuff like that. John's pounding off. He says, I have a Flyers jersey that says Montague on the back from when I was a kid. I'll send you, I'll send it, and you can retire it and hang it from the rafters in the attic. Absolutely. I have actually, the rafters are officially located over here. That's off camera, but I'll make sure to take a picture. I could probably hang them. We can include these. These are the same thing up here. So I'll hang it from right here. It'll hang right down, probably over here. I'll make it look good. Do it. Send it over. Bring it on. Come on, John. Now I'll tell you what. But today it reminded me of the term Karen, not necessarily the name Karen, but the term Karen. So the today's term or word to celebrate Black History is Joan, Joan, or Joning, Joaning. And that's to engage in a ritualized exchange of insults. So essentially a roast battle. A roast battle is kind of joning. I almost said jonesing. I want to see my natural reaction is to say jonesing, but to joan or joning is again to engage in the ritualized exchange of insults. So if you want to go to a Joan battle, if you want to go Joan out, you can go do that. So I had never heard of that term before, and this is something that I don't know I don't know necessarily the legitimacy of it. Let me actually look that up real quick. Joning, Joi. Let me look it up. Urban Dictionary. Joning. Let's see here.
Joning.
Joning. Quit joning on me, or you'll get smacked. To put down or to make fun of someone. Yep, that's what it is.
Joning.
Joning. So it's not Jawn in the traditional Philly sense, but it's
Joning.
Joning. Interesting. What was another one that I had?
Joning.
Oh, I should get that as a drop.
Joning.
Joning. Urban Dictionary with that one. Urban Dictionary with the pronunciation. Like Charles. It did kind of sound like Charles. It could be. I don't know if Charles is a contributor to Urban Dictionary or not, but it might be Charles. So yeah, hell yeah. I think it's pretty cool to exchange and to ritualize insult. So basically kind of bullying, kind of being so joning, I guess is the African American version of Karening or being a Karen. You're being a Joan. Or it's I guess you're just making fun of somebody. Karens are actually harassing someone. Karen is actively harassing someone who's not doing something wrong. But I guess joning is kind of the same thing. But it's I think joning is going to be funnier or more fun for other people around. I think when there's a Karen incident in the descriptive sense, not in the name again, and not in the when it's used as that, I think it's I think it's uncomfortable. Like that lady that was like choking her dog out. For people that anyone involved in watching that or something like that, it's not necessarily fun. But if maybe you saw a lady like just roasting the shit out of some dude, that would be joning, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm a fan of joning. I'm a fan of dare.wisc.edu. I'm excited about for more UFC fights coming up this month. It's going to be a fucking big ass month for, and also I didn't realize this that Daniel Cormier was the first African American like full time commentator for the UFC. I didn't realize that he was. I mean, I never, and that's not saying like, oh, I don't really pay attention to that. Like, there's iconic people like John Anik is a big name in it. Michael Bisping is somebody who I don't know if I don't think he's the first British guy, but there's ex fighter commentators that are good. I get excited when Daniel Cormier is on commentary. Like even if it's just a card that I'm not necessarily that interested in, excuse me. I get excited when I hear Daniel Cormier. So like not only is he just he's the and this is no disrespect to the other commentators. I think much like people that and maybe people didn't think about Tony Romo like this at the beginning. I think everybody kind of went to him pretty quickly when he started as a commentator. But I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. But I think at first people don't like change. And like so when there's a new person, you're like, oh, this guy. But also like you could see him. They played his first time, Daniel Cormier's on the last event that I watched. And he was pretty stiff. Like he's just you're just new at it. It's not anything, but for somebody who has transitioned and kept with it and done a really good job and is I think somebody who's a legitimate great. I like watching his show with Ariel Helwani. They do on YouTube. It's a DC and Helwani show on Ariel Helwani's YouTube channel. You should check that out. That's a really great show with him. But shout out to Daniel Cormier as well. Fucking champ. Somebody who is a heavyweight champ as well as light heavyweight champ at the same time. Had a great legacy. Had lost 2 fights against John Jones, lost 2 fights against Stipe, but won one against Stipe. I think he may have been able to get one against John Jones in the third one, but who knows? Uh, it's a really great. I think that's a cool legacy to have, and especially if he's good too. Like so, it's like not only is he a great, very personable and engaging commentator, but also like that's like he's truly like good at his job. So like not only to be a pioneer, but to be a fucking pioneer that's really good at your job is fucking awesome. You high if you think he'd win against John. Yeah, third time. You know what I mean? Third time's a charm. Let him fight at heavyweight. Maybe it's a heavyweight. Maybe that's the key. Ugh. Maybe it's about the weight cut with him. But yeah, that's a big if. Look, dude, I started the sentence by saying he lost twice against Jones. I think he has a chance of possibly beating Stipe again if they fought again. But maybe not. He got beat by Stipe twice. There's always a puncher's chance. John Jones has to lose eventually. He will not leave undefeated. He has lost enough fights and I'm not saying the whole battle, but he's left just regular fights with just life that it's like and I wonder if that's how you become rich and successful and still maintain that level of like edge of like underdogness or like because there's a lot of pressure and we saw with like Conor McGregor lost against Dustin Poirier. I don't know if that had anything to do with his training or it is maybe a mindset thing though when he lost against Nate Diaz, he came back and beat Nate Diaz, but he also like that was somebody brought up that parallel as well. I saw that on Instagram of like at the beginning of 2016 is he lost against Nate Diaz, and then that it ended that year with two belts. So it I don't know if that mindset will be intact because now he's a fucking billionaire or at least multimillionaire. John Jones, I think, is also a millionaire, but he keeps himself, it's not that he's making these conscious efforts to have issues with drugs and alcohol. I think that that is also part of what has kept him not focused, not comfortable. He's not comfortable, because he's always struggling with, he always has that struggle. I don't think Conor McGregor is really struggling with anything. If anything, it's the allegations of him behaving like a piece of shit. And I don't know the validity of those, but I would say that I think since those either have been easily squashable and or he's been able to ignore them or people ignore them or move on or people are paid off. I don't know how they're actually being handled. I have not followed a lot of those stories, but he had the issue where he had to go to court in New York. He had issues of abuse against that old guy in the bar or whatever, like where there's like video of it. The guy, he's smashing the guy's phone. Like he had that stuff even kind of leading into like the cowboy fight. There was still a little bit of that edge, but since everything shuts down and he doesn't, there's not any of that stuff going on. And then there's still allegations coming out from past malfeasances, if that's the right word. I don't know. So I just think Conor McGregor is either his issues have been his surprisingly maybe his substance issues have been more easily managed, uh or maybe he's just too comfortable. And that is my non-expert opinion. I'm no Daniel Cormier. I don't know if that's, obviously I don't know why that would be, and I wouldn't even, I obviously, to say I wouldn't begin to speculate. That's all I've been fucking doing. That's like me commenting and then going no comment. but but no, I think if John Jones and I don't know. Hey, if let me just say this though, I may be high if I think that Daniel Cormier has a chance to beat Jones, but I either way, I'm buying the pay per view. I don't give a fuck. I'd still I'll also gladly watch him lose again. You know what I mean? I don't know. The first one, the way it ended, you knew there had to be a repeat. And then the way the second one ended, you're like, okay. But then you have all the pictograms and you have the I'm not even saying like I won't say that his behavior outside the ring, John Jones, I mean, is has anything. I can separate that for, he's an incredible fighter, but then when you get into like the testing shit, and then there's like, oh, maybe he was doing this, and maybe like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Connor smashing that old drunk in the bar because he called his whiskey piss is the most Irish thing ever. Yeah, right. Jones with a fast knockout. Yeah, yeah, probably. I mean, like I said, and it will. And if you want, hopefully at that time we'll be able to safely gather in groups, and everybody can come over and watch that fast knockout at my house because I'm ordering it. I'll watch that fight. I'll watch the fourth fight, even whoever wins the third one. I don't give a shit. I'll just watch two elite athletes and see. But ultimately, dream fight: Jones, Adesanya, or and this doesn't make sense weight class wise, but Jones and Khabib. Holy fuck, dude! I know that they're so far apart, but like, I mean, Khabib they could probably meet somewhere, but he's such a big light heavyweight, John Jones. Like if he's going up to heavyweight, but to me, like all time greatest fun fights to watch. Everybody says Jones and GSP. Sure, that'd be fun, but like GSP's been retired for a while now. Not that he's not incredible. I know I don't have to preface that. GSP is an incredible martial artist. But John Jones against Khabib Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov. Got to take it easy. I think that would be a great fight. So in summation, check out the Amazon wish list. Wherever you're watching, listening, or anything, please hit like or subscribe, hit a review, give us 5 stars, 12 stars if you can, 19 stars. And just you know what? Just be a good person. Be nice to your robots, be nice to the computers, because it's not their fault. They know not what they do. And now I know that. And I love you all.
Bruce.